May of 2023 is one of the more significant months of the year. And here's the reason why, is because several things are happening which are wonderful and benefic and positive. But then there's also intensity and challenge. Now, on the 1st of May, which is today, we have Pluto stationing to go retrograde, which is the second planet going retrograde, aside from Mercury, which is already retrograde. And this started on April 21st, and it's continuing on till May 14th. And so Pluto going retrograde is a time where we can look at, the deeper, darker psychological material, and we can do some serious shadow work and, review our process of destruction, transformation, and healing, and also our connection in relationship to power. And maybe this is a great opportunity to tap into our own inner power also. And then on the 5th of the month, we have the lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And this is an eclipse, which is a lunar eclipse. Significant endings. We're talking about major endings here, big, huge closures. We're talking about themes of loss and secrets being revealed in terms of power, in terms of, inner abundance and inner wealth. And when we, look at what is revealed to us, especially with the Uranus being involved with the eclipse. Uranus is conjunct the sun opposite the moon. There can be shocking truths with the eclipse energy. And not only that, but any kind of pattern that we keep repeating over and over and over that doesn't work, now's the time to let it go. Where, when I think of the lunar eclipse, the very first time I found out that there would be a lunar eclipse on the 5th of May, I pictured a gate in my mind. And what that symbolizes, you're closing out a chapter. What gate are you opening into a new chapter of your life? And what gate are you closing? And that whole thing about gates and coronations, if you remember, Frozen, the movie Frozen, and there was a coronation of Queen Elsa in Frozen, and eventually, that, if you've seen the movie, what happened with that. The day after, there's a coronation happening of King Charles III, and you can go read about this. There's several astrologers who do videos about it, and how interesting it is that it's happening after a lunar eclipse in Scorpio, a partial penumbral lunar eclipse, and how the coronation is going to go over in terms of how long is it going to last, and some of the themes of the lunar eclipse, and why it may not be the best idea, according to some astrologers, to have an eclipse the day after the full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. And then on the 7th, Venus enters Cancer, so now we can focus on our home and family life. We can focus on our emotional connections to those that are closest to us, to those that are our love, where we can have a nurturing and compassionate and loving, caring and understanding energy, where we can, be loyal to those that we love, and look to family, and look to protection, and, be nourished, receive that nourishment, and also nourish, take care of others. I'm going to, move a little bit because of the light here. So, that's going on the 7th. And then around the 12th of the month, now on the 9th, we have the Sun and Uranus conjuncting. So that's, radical new ideas, insights, innovation, a sense of, wanting to step out of the box or wanting to rebel in some way, wanting to create something new and not wanting to, go with the crowd. Uranus has been in Taurus, and it's coming to conjunct the Sun. So this person's here, as a time to look at. It's going to shine a light on you being the individual in your life in some way. Now, we have a quarter moon around the 12th of the month in Aquarius. So this is a time where the Sun in Taurus is squaring the moon in Aquarius. And when this happens, we look at Taurus wanting to keep things the way they are, grounded, stable. Things are fine. Things are where they should be. Why change it? And Aquarius wants to innovate and change. And it's all about the future for the betterment of humanity. And it looks to intellectualizing, having intellectual and lofty ideas, and having a sort of more enlightened mind, because Aquarius is a higher mind, to put those ideas into action. And that can really be, the high road of this square, as we can have innovative ideas and then ground them and put them into embodied manifestation. That's kind of the, combination of Taurus and Aquarius. Mercury goes direct on May 14, which is Mother's Day. So intellectual clarity is coming to the forefront. We can move on. Mercury, thinking, communication, all those themes will be really prevalent in the sky on May 14. And then it really gets very profound because, on the 16th, Jupiter enters Taurus. And I'm going to do a separate video about that on my YouTube channel coming up here, because it is going to be big. And Jupiter into Taurus is about expanding the need to be, expanding, really taking a look at what we value. It's a great opportunity to cultivate self-worth, because when we put in what we have into things, and when we do what it is that we value, we will grow and expand and get lucky during this time. And it's also a time where tapping into the present moment and tapping into all that we can enjoy in the present moment is going to be really beneficial for us. And especially when it comes to the five senses and the simple energy of Taurus. Now, we have several things going on during the middle of May that present difficulty. And the reason for this difficulty is because the middle of May, the 18th to the 20th, or so the 17th through the 20th of May, I want to say those 4 dates, are when things are going to be difficult, because we have Pluto into Aquarius, just entering Aquarius at 0 degrees of Aquarius. We have Jupiter, which from the 16th entered Taurus. We have Mars, which is going to enter Leo on the 20th. And to me, that deals with, dealing with the hero, very, heroic, courageous energy. And we also have the new moon in Taurus on May 19th, and that's nice, break and, reprieve from, the eclipse season. And, it is a more calm new moon in my mind. However, with, the lunar nodes also squaring, off with, involved in, with Mars opposite Pluto squaring Jupiter, we have a fixed grand cross. And fixed energy is really about the will, very steadfast, very strong, and is very in control. But it can also be rigid and stubborn, and there can be some frustrations of, feeling stuck and, feeling sort of the downsides of fixed energy that can come about with the squares, which are, difficult aspects of, tension and, resistance coming to play here. But a lot of growth can come from the fixed grand cross. And that sort of corresponds to that new moon because it's occurring at the same time of the new moon. So we have that energy going on. And then on the 20th, of course, Mars is moving into Leo. On the 21st begins Gemini season. The sun's moving into Gemini. So we can become very communicative. Now we're exploring different avenues of life. We're going here, going over there, and engaging in mental stimulation. It's really taking a look at our mutability and adaptability and versatility for the next month from the 21st through the 20th of June. So, that's what's going on. The last half of May is quiet, quieter part to the month. That is really the overview of what is taking place for May 2023, and I hope that you enjoy. Have a great month starting today.